あれ、寝ちゃった？ドクターも夢を見るのかな。ドクター？あれ、寝ちゃった？ドクターも夢を見るのかな。
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? Today we're gonna do another video of Arknights. It's your boy Obsolete here. You guys already know. What I have planned for you guys. So the Viglia event is of course still going on. We are the last remaining days of Viglia event. So if you guys haven't already completed it, make sure you guys already do so, because we have a grand total of about 1 day remaining. So I would suggest you guys hurry up and get that done as soon as possible. So, but I didn't come to you guys to talk about the whole Viglia event. I came to talk to you guys about CC. Now, of course, you guys already know CC is like a love-hate relationship. You love it when you come through, but man, you love it when it finally comes through, but man, you hate it when you going through it. It's like that with every CC. So today I am joined by my good friend Jama here, and we are going to go through and we're going to talk about the CC that's about to come through, CC6 Wild Scales. Now, of course, in all CCs, we always have these giant enemies, these big mobs, these colossal giants, everything that you guys want to be afraid of and not want to fight through. This time around, this CC is not really focused on someone like Faust or Frost Nova or like Crown Slayer. We're focused on enemies from the Gaviel event, along with enemies focused from the Rainbow Six Siege place of their event. So now, of course, I am going to show you guys what to expect and everything like that, and how to prepare for CC. Now, of course, you guys are feel free to take the advice and use it for your own, or you are also feel free to not take the advice and go on your own merry way. But this video is to be informative, and I'm going to give you guys all the information I can to help you guys out for the latest CC. Of course, the link for that will also be in the video below for where I got my information from. Of course, this is so I'm making sure that you guys don't think I'm hiding anything, get anything from you. So I'll make sure I put that in there as well. Since I'm probably going to be in the comment section actually. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so Jamie, CC6. What can we expect from CC6 this time around? Is it going to be like one of those stages to where it's going to be like very, very hard? Or is it going to be one of those just annoying stages from back in the day?
So, I will say this with this CC. Now, if we take a look at CC's face value, you might be saying, oh, we don't have boss enemies, so it doesn't really look hard. That is true to an extent. I will say that this CC is much like CC4 Let's Seal, where risk 18ing the stage is probably going to be fine. I think it's very much doable for most players, especially veteran players. But I would say max risking it is probably going to be a different story. So I would say it's more closer, the difficulty is more closer to the likes of CC4. And the stage is fairly straightforward. There's nothing really too complicated about the stage. It's just to remember the blue boxes in very much the center. And all the enemies and mobs just come through there. So it's not a complex stage. The stage is fairly straightforward, and the operators you take is going to be generally the usual operators you take before. And yeah, I think for risk 18ing, I don't think it's a very difficult stage. I think max risking will be another kind of challenge, but that's obviously max risk.
So let's go ahead and talk about the map itself. So before we get into it, so I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys what I'm seeing. Oops. Sorry, my bad.
Anyways.
So this is pretty much the CC map. That we should be expecting here. Here we go. So this is pretty much the CC map that we are going to be expecting. So from face value, from what you guys are looking at, this is straight up. Okay, so pretty much just protect. There's like three red boxes with one blue box. Now, of course, there's a different type of strats that you guys can literally incorporate on this stage. So there's a hole right over there, and right here, right next to one of the towers that's blocking the sand that you guys can see there. This is a push strat that you guys can in fact do. That's completely up to you. So the weight of these enemies is like, the lower enemies is like 3 and 1. The big one, however, is weight 5. So, as looking at this stage, of course, like I said before and I say it again, these are going to be enemies from back in the past.
Yes.
So if I take a look here, these are pretty much these enemies here. So of course, as you guys look here from the top to the bottom, Gaviel, and the Rainbow Siege from the sniper and of course the little runner guys here, which are the casters, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're the Mirage soldiers.
But this is the stage for CC6. So, of course, you guys are going to ask, okay, so this is CC6. So, normally, I can tell you guys to bring certain operators and do certain strats. I can tell you straight up front without any type of, you know, BS or any type of, you know, have to, need to, want to, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can pretty much just face plant yourself on the stage. Like, John, am I kidding on this one? Like, you can legitimately just face plant yourself on the stage. Like, it's not bad. It's just pretty much just straight up easy. Like, it's literally straightforward. Black goes into the blue blocks, green goes into the blue blocks, blue goes all the way to the left into the blue blocks, and everybody else just goes straight into the blue box. It's straight up face value for what it is. Like nothing too dramatically crazy, anything like that.
Yeah, the map itself is very much straightforward. I would say the key things to note with this stage is obviously there's dirt mounds, and this stage layout is very much like this. If you're familiar with the Rainbow Six event, these are the dirt mounds that block the sandstorm. And obviously the problem with the sandstorm is if operators are under it, they'll kind of take semi-corrosion damage, they'll have critical attack speed, they'll get debuffed.
Correct.
That's why your placements will have to be in line towards your operators should be placed accordingly based on the dirt mounts that are placed on the map and the direction of the sandstorm.
So, if I had to bring a healer or something like that, a healer like Perfume would be very exceptional on this stage.
Yeah, for lower rarity, it's very good.
So, from looking at this stage, since there's like only one way in, and all the enemies seem to literally come out from like maybe like two or three directions, either going from bottom to the right or bottom to the left. AF Yalo will be a very good unit to place smack down in the middle, since you can just blow it up.
Yeah.
Still to this day, one of the best casters in the game, especially when it comes to CC.
Yeah, indeed.
Let's see what else we got here. So let's go ahead and look at some general tips, stuff like that. So of course, some of you guys who are veteran players or in the middle, you guys already know you guys should always bring vanguards. Like that's not really a topic that we need to discuss. So the top vanguards: Elysium, Myrtle, Bagpipe, Texas. Good for bringing for that the DPs, and also good for either blocking or just generating DP as fast as you guys can to propel operators. So another one that's also very good to let's see, casters are Also very good for this stage, like I said before. Very much very helpful. If you decide now, I'm not. Now we're gonna get into the risk and all that stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure most strats in CC literally have the tile of you cannot leak into enemies, and this is one of those strategies where you can literally lead like the big croc guys from the left, which is where they're gonna come through, and you can still clear it since there's only two of them. So you just have to you can pretty much just skip those guys and make the stage harder for yourself while leaking those two guys, or you can kill them all and make the enemies a bit weaker. But week 1 and week 2 are gonna have like a couple of different things that you can do. So the basic map info: you start with 42 enemies, 3 HP seal with deployment limit of 9. And these are the enemies that you'll be facing here. So these are pretty much the non-problematic, the regulars, stuff like that. Nothing really too crazy with these types of guys. It's these guys that's gonna cause some problematics. Like Art gains defense when blocked, did 4 times melee physical damage. So looking at the stage, I say supporters like Suzerain, Podenko, those guys also be useful, right?
Yeah, it would be good.
Yeah, so it's nothing too crazy that you guys can't really do. So I'm pretty sure that you guys can easily hit risk 18 with like no problem, since majority of these enemies can literally be destroyed by like arts damaging units. And if you guys need to E2 something, if you guys don't have an AF Yala, which I understand if you guys don't, you can always just go to your friends list and then borrow an E2 whatever level with volcano skill with no masteries on it for the risk 18. If you're trying to go higher, that's a different topic altogether. Because, risk 18 is risk 18, and it's not saying it. Clearing risk 18 is not really it's a flex, but it's not really a requirement by everybody in the Archmax community. It's more like, hey, I did this, I accomplished this, and it's an acknowledgement. But I always say, just get as far as you can. Like, everybody that plays Heart Knights in my community can at least should be able to get risk 18 with this, no problem. So, let's go ahead and talk about the risks.
Yeah.
So, what we have here is the usual stuff: attack up, attack speed plus HP plus amount, resistance plus this, and becomes invisible, does not become invisible. Only lose 40%. The Tycon Braves. Stuff like that.
So now, in terms of the risks, Now, these risks for the Tiako Braves, which are the duelist clocks, can be. I would say if you don't have the right operators to deal with them, they can be quite painful. Which is why there are certain strats that uh, allows you to leak at least 2 of them. Basically, at most 2 of them for the strat.
So
Most
so I'm
so
guessing an operator like Jay would be very helpful here.
Jay can be very good. Helliger can be good. Spectre can be good. Basically, any strong unit, damage unit that can self-sustain is gonna work really well against the duelist clocks. But also, it doesn't necessarily have to be stand-in guards. It could literally be. You could literally have a range damage dealer deal with it as well, with the right setup. So it's kind of a free state. You just have to make sure like these tags will make the croc stronger, not only in damage, but they can also be quite a bit tankier as well. So yeah.
Which I understand because, well, anything without difficulty is like too easy. Let's see. Attack of all enemies, of course. That's week 2. Natural DP regeneration, that's week 2. All allies minus a certain HP threshold, that's week 1. Like anything in orange is gonna be week 2. So week 2, week 2.
Yeah, so the highlighted ones are week 2, yeah.
Yeah, the sandstorm is now blown from top to bottom. That's week 2. All allies attack speed minus blah blah blah. That's week 2. And that's all the risk. So what I did was from reading all these risks and everything like that is that there's no light HP seal one from looking at this. So that means someone can literally just skip the Crocs and just straight up working on their other mobs can easily get risk 18 with like not really a problem.
Well, there is the 1 HP seal risk, but there are ways you can arrange the risk 18 so you don't have to take the 1 HP seal.
Which is also a shot on in its own, like.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like very much like the CC4, where you take the risk tags for the Mudrock Colossus, and basically let them through. Basically.
Yeah, let the Colossus ones just roam through, but you kill Mudrock and you kill.
Big Bob, yeah.
Yeah, Big Bob. God, Big Bob was a tanky mofo, I swear.
Oh yeah. I don't even think I would have done like past risk 18 without a certain someone.
Ifrit.
Yeah.
I know some people brought Ash. I know some people brought I know a lot of people brought Sarah. I know a lot of people brought Suzerain. I know a lot of people brought Angelina. I know some people did the Weedy strat. It's a good one. Which is also good on its own. Alright, so those are the risks. Now, let's talk the operators. Now, I was looking at this earlier, and these are some units that you guys are very commonly used in most in most general senses of what's the word in these risks. So Surtur, Silver Ash, these are like probably like the two best guards in the game right now that you guys can use from both week 1 and week 2. Then we have Spectre along with Helliger. Then we have the defenders such as Mudrock, Saria, and Eunectes. Kind of glad to see Eunectes actually getting some love and some shine here. Which is actually very good for this because, well, Eunectes is going to see some play due to her that can literally duel against the Crocs themselves, which is actually pretty poggers.
Yeah.
Alright, if we scroll on down. Casters, of course, you guys already know about casters, right? AF Yala is still like one of the number one casters in the game, along with Ifrit. And Kyobi also making an appearance that can also kill the dual Crocs. Snipers, of course, Chen Holiday sniper form that we not too long ago got. I hope you guys did get her. Then of course we have along with Ash, and they're both limited units, so I can understand if you don't have either or these two units. They're not required, but they do help. Schwartz, and we have a few other mentions like Exu and Shitu. I forgot her name.
That's Arcado.
Arcado, yeah. Arcado should actually be very good at clearing the trash mobs, actually, with, I believe it was skill 2 I was using for.
More people use skill 3.
Oh, right. I can't remember the skill. It's been so... I know I just keep forgetting the skill. John, can you go ahead and take over while I use the restroom so we can go ahead and keep talking about this?
Alright, continuing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go after... I'll just go ahead and scroll down so that you can, go from Vanguards and Medics.
Alright, cool. Okay. So, in terms of Vanguards, which are going to be very essential for the CC, especially if you're taking the DP cost risk. So Myrtle and Elysium is a given. They're both Flagbearer Vanguards. They generate tons of DP. Myrtle's like a given. You're going to use her. Elysium is great, especially with skill 2, because it's a nice slow and stealth reveal, which works really well against the certain mobs in this stage. That's very nice. As for the other Vanguards you can bring, Bagpipe is a given. She accelerates Myrtle and Elysium's first cast. Makes DP a lot easier to come through. Texas is nice, especially with the stun. She can stall very well, and her talent is really nice. Saga is good. Can stand in with skill 3. Can work really well in certain clears, although not seen as much. And then there's Zima, who can mitigate the starting DP. You're gonna find yourself definitely running Vanguards, at least 2 of them. Sometimes you might have to run 3 or 4. So that all depends on the risks. In terms of medics, we do have, in terms of medics, Calcid, it can be good for the lower risk, as her monster can solo the Duelist Crocs and she's good for low up clears. Warframe's a nice buffer, especially with skill 2. She's generally used to buff Ashe, since Ashe is very good at dealing with the duelist clocks on her own. And she's a general buffer, she's a good medic. And Nightingale is really good on this map. If you have Nightingale, you can really use her really well, since casters can be very dangerous, and Nightingale can mitigate the damage against him, and she can bait damage with the birdcage. So overall, really solid as a healer in the stage, since the casters are the main threats. Now, it's not scrolled down, but regarding to the specialists and supporters, there are an interesting number of specialists and supporters you can bring. Now, in terms of the specialists, we got Weedy, who's very good at shifting the infiltrators with the skill 3. So that can come clutch in certain stages or clears. Ak is also a very good buffer. Ak has been used a fair amount in like high risk CC. He's a very solid buffer. He is in this CC. He's primarily used to buff Silver Ash so that he can clear out the enemies on top. Gladia is a recent unit from Undertides who works really well on the stage, mostly because she's great for disrupting infiltrators. She can kill early units because she can DPS, she can pull casters to their death, and her skill 2 is the general use skill for that, and she works really nice. Here's Kafka, who's very good silence. There's a very disgusting combo with Kafka and Modrock where you can basically just perma-stall enemies. So that's a strat you can do. And then there's Phantom, who can also stall infiltrators with his push on his skill 3. And can also act as bait. Meanwhile, supporters options are just there. We got Angeline and Suzerain. Both are really solid damage utility supporters. Angelina is good for both skill 2 and skill 3 to deal with duelist clocks. Suzerain, like she's always good for high risk. Her skill 3 is very nice, wide AoE slow and damage increase, works really well. She's basically the high ground Saria, so that's very nice. Sculptor is also used, and she's used generally for her skill 3 to buff Chalter, but she can also buff other units like Shorts and Ashe with her skill 3 so that you can enable more damage. And skill 2 sees somewhat playing weak 1, but not as much. And then for the low risk, arts options, Podenko works really nice for 4-star rarity. Pretty much almost everyone should have her. Skill 2 is very good as well. So yeah, that is generally the operators you'll be running with. Now the question is, if you're asking, oh, why is X operator not mentioned? Generally you can run different operators that are not on this list. If you find that it works for you, you can try it, but these are generally just given as recommendations of what's good on these stages. But do never take it never just take this at face value, because it's all dependent on your account and all depends on how you want to clear the stage through the use of the risks that you're going to take. And the main strategies, your strategies are going to be very much different depending on stage. So I would say in week 1 for Risk 18, Risk 18 is generally just going to be like, you're going to have the sub carries, you're going to have the utilities, which is through your vanguards. or your fast redeploy, and you're gonna have the main stars of the show, which are gonna be generally your 6 stars. Generally, you can run singular 6 stars even to just do the most of the job of the stage, and that's generally kind of the strats with Risk 18. Is you're generally gonna have a 1 6 star that will carry most of the stage, and then you just run units along with them to kind of go along, right? And Risk 26 for week 1, which is the max risk. Max risk is free real estate for arts damage. Like Ifrit, AF Fiala, Kilby, all works really well to just kill everything. And Chalter's good because she can act as a substitute, does a lot of damage, can deal with trash mobs, can deal with the strong enemies. You can bring Vanguards as usual. You can bring Amp like Sari and Suzerain. It's just like go nuts on Risk 26. Risk 26 because max risk is pretty hard to do. Generally requires pots. You're gonna need masteries, maybe high level on operators, depending on which operators. So that's kind of the main strats you're looking for week 1. Week 2, however, is going to change slightly in playstyle. Now casters aren't generally as ideal because of the map layout, and now it's more about if you have Chen Alter, you're going to use her as the solo DPS to deal with a lot of stuff, and then you have either Ash or Swords to deal with duelist blocks. And Silver Ash is again used to just clear mobs, general mobs, and Nightingale is great against casters with a skill 3. And depending on how you clear, Sari and Suzerain is still great, and Vanguards is always a given. Like, you want to bring Vanguards. They're very important, and you're going to need them, especially with the DP, slow DP regen risk. So we shall wait for Obsolete to come back around again. Yep.
Okay, my bad. Sorry for taking so long.
No worries.
What have you already covered?
I've just covered already the operators and the types of teams you want to run for each type of risk.
Alright, so not Warframe, but all the Vanguards, all the medics, specialists, sleep, cancel, very strong, Ock, Weedy, skill 3, Scotty, corrupting heart, Podenko. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you covered all that.
Yep.
Well, if you already covered all that, then I guess that means we'll just go ahead and get into the week 1. Awesome videos. Let's go ahead and start with the very first video. Now, on this video, oh crap. Let me also mute my game. So in this video here, we have pretty much nothing too expensive that's out of you guys' price range as far as characters in the game goes. Podenko, Jay, Myrtle, Perfumer, Gummy, and of course AF Yala, which you guys can easily borrow one. I'm pretty sure that this is a very easy and very cheap to maintain. So let's go ahead and take a look at this.
So, as I said before, a lot of the strategies you'll see on Risk 18 clears is gonna all generally center around having a singular strong 6-star carrying the stage, and you have other units to tag along with them as like support, whether it's utility or they're like they're your sub carries. Which you're gonna see that on a lot of Risk 18 clears.
Yeah. So Cal said there's gonna be one, AF Yala is gonna be another, Silver Ash is also gonna be another talked about unit. Ifrit is also another that we can also talk about. That's also good. Like Ifrit, where he's standing right now is also pretty good unit there.
Yep.
Now keep in mind, these are level 1E, level max pot characters that are doing mostly all the damage here. And the only ones that is above his pay grade is at E2 is AF Yala.
ええ、必要確かに。ドクターの言う通りに。先輩、ご命令を。みんなお腹すいた？
はい。
おいしいもの食べよう。元気出して。
And pretty much from there, it's just pretty much, yeah, if y'all are just gonna punch through again, and there you go. So that's at bare bones risk 18 without anything too crazy.
Yeah.
There, and I can just tell you guys straight up front, like, these are just easy, well budgeted units that you guys can easily get. And the best part about the best part about all these CC clears is that there's like nothing really too dramatically out of your pay grade that you guys think is too expensive. Like literally E2 90 Calcids, we got E2 level 1 AF Yalas, we got an E2 level 75 Thorns on M3. And the list of videos that you guys want to use or want to do or want to have or want to try is all there. Like with and without robots, two player with only stuff like this. And like I said, you guys can pretty much do whatever and get risk 18. Now, if you talking about a higher risk, then here's how we go into some other videos. So of course, let's just go ahead and pick one out of blue. Which one tickles your fancy, Jamie?
Well, let's see the strat without Chen Alter, which is the one with like just heavy arts. So the second one.
Alright, so Chartelis art carry, well, that is going to be a Nightingale S3. That is Bagpipe S3, Texas skill 2. Kyobi skill 2. Suzerain S3. AF Yala S3. Mudrock S3. Ifrit S3. Myrtle skill 1 M3 and Saria S3. So this is going to be a very interesting video. Now I want you guys to keep a couple of things in mind when you're looking at these videos. Some of these guys have like pot 6 of these units and such like that. That's and higher risk. That's gonna make or break some runs. Well, I know you guys can do like 32 risk 32 strats like that or no.
ビクトリアのバグパイプ波状棒と共に参る。誰の怪我をさせも邪悪を壊滅しうるは入門さ。私が行こう。始めよう。命令を黙っていろ。命令を戦場、それは変わらない。行ってきまーす。土が私の声に応える。ドクターさん落ち込んで。おい、そこに並び獣め、動くな。
Wow.
みんな、助けに来たよ。で、行くよ。気をつけて行動しますね。わかりました。奴ら強化し土力度岩を温度安定しています。岩が耳を傾けず了解した。縛られるつもりはない。進め。待機中。おせっか言ってるのか。私が行こう。どうしたここっていい子じゃん。今日もよろしくね。おい任せろ。私たちならできます。はい。ドクター気をつけ。友人たちが祝福を捧げている。
Again, that was week 1, Risk 26 with an N390, Mudrock, Ifrit, AF Yala, Bagpipe. Yeah, that shit was just Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a bunch of lists of videos of what you guys wish to accomplish. So, gentlemen, what are you trying to go for?
Well, I mean, of course, my goal is always Risk 18, of course, but now my new goals has just been just breaking my limits past Risk 18, which I was able to do the previous 2 CCs, which CC4 I was able to reach Risk 21 and I got Risk 22 in CC5.
So you're saying you might end up going to Risk 26 this time around?
Risk 26 might be a stretch, but I'll try to go higher than Risk 22, which is my personal record. I'll try to see if I can go higher than Risk 22.
Hey, well, you know me. I ain't got, you know me. I ain't got personally got like really anything to really trying to work for as far as risk goes. Because you guys already know I'm gonna get Risk 18 no matter what. especially day one. That's gonna be a day one thing for me. It might turn into, do I want to go risk 18 and just stop there, or do I go higher? I very well could. So that's pretty much the entirety of CC. As far as we talked about the map, we talked about the risks, we talked about I've also shown the map, and I know Jeremy had talked to you guys his ears off about what he would do as far as what strats he would try to do. And you can do, and like I said, you guys just try to get as far as you can. But as long as you guys can at least get risk 18 to get all the rewards and such, I think it's like a win-win. Do you have any more questions or any more comments or concerns? Because at the moment I'm just doing a little bit of the event before the event goes away.
Well, let me, before we actually get to other stuff, let's talk about the other sides of the stuff aside from CC. So basically what's going to come along during the CC period. So basically, as like previous CCs, we're going to have a limited time shop that we can buy stuff. It's generally just going to be materials, some LMD and XP.
Yeah, you know the words.
Comes with a new skin, yeah. And in the cover of CC6, we're actually getting a free Warframe skin.
Oh, Warframe skin. Oh.
Yeah. And this is the second skin that Warframe is getting. And this is available for everyone to get, just through the use of the CC tokens.
We don't get enough skins for Warframe, though. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one other skin, which is like... Yeah, I've seen it. And there is, of course, because during the CC period, this always is the case, but basically you have unlimited access to supplies and chip stages, so you can basically farm every supply. You can farm any supply operation stage during the CC period. So you can go nuts. You want to farm LMD, you want to farm your carbon, you want to farm your skill summary, shop vouchers, any type of operator chips, go nuts with your sanity. Like, because this is the time to do it. And as for that, we should also expect, because CN also had this, we should also expect a rerun of Thorn's banner, which is the Unbound Reflex. And Obsolete, take it away.
Well, I'm gonna be pulling on his account far as Thorns go. Personally, for me, I ain't got, like I said, I got nobody to really pull for, since So I'm gonna be pulling on his account. Hopefully, we're praying to the RNGesus that we get him a Thorns.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be something that we do on the channel. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be
And
that's gonna be a very interesting way to go for. Now I'm not sure if I can even pull off risk 26 because risk anything higher than like risk 24 and higher requires pots on characters, and also requires them to be like E290 and such like that.
yeah.
So that becomes a pay to win function than a fun function. So
Yeah.
I can go higher than 18. I just don't think I can do 26 because, well, pots on 6 stars it becomes more like a 300, 400, 500, 800 some dollar thing, and you don't need that
Yeah.
unless you're a whale. Then feel free to ignore me.
Yeah. And aside from that, with cosmetics, we're gonna get a Coral Coast skin rerun series, which there's 6 skins within the skin line that is gonna get rerun. Which the skins include Shining, Skyfire, Vigna, Ifrit, Sora, and Gummy. Those
So,
are all gonna be rerun.
so for anybody that doesn't have those skins already, this is your chance to get them.
Yep. And other than that, we just have the medals for CC6, obviously, which we obviously have the trim medal. Every season always has the trim medal if you clear Risk 18 Week 1. That's always been the case. And there's just the furniture theme and 4 new operator records, which will for Paradoxin, which will have Cardigan, Shaw, Tamimi, and Gladio.
Right.
And that's basically it for what's coming, what should be coming on the CC.
Now, I personally don't know if CC is next, and far as I'm concerned, like if CC is next, then this will be the time to go ahead and prep for it, because they tell us they're announcing maybe like a day or 2 days before the whole thing starts. So it could very well be next. Then again, it could not be next. Any more thoughts, Jeremy?
I would say nothing else much to look forward to other than to clear a CC and hopefully pray on Jesus that I get thorns. That's about it.
Yeah, because besides you, I know a lot of other people who really, really want thorns. That, and I know a lot of other people who really want those other units on top of that. So this is going to be a good luck, buddy. I hope you get it.
Yep. And for those who don't, if you're a new player who doesn't have Thorns, and if you're wondering if Thorns is good, he's very good. Can use him in pretty much any stage. He can make trust farms easier in most content. He's a strong stand your ground unit. Skill 3 makes him have insane DPS. He can hit air, can hit ground. Yeah, he's just a really strong operator to have on your account. So if you don't have him, he is, I would say if you want to go pull on this banner, definitely he is worth getting.
Oh boy, no phone calls. I gotta take this. Hello? Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm gonna try to go around 22, 23 for this risk this time around. Because anything past risk 24 is saying, hey, I'm a big whale for pots.
Yeah. For me, it'll be the same as well. I would try to push for higher, but since risk 22 was what I got last time in CC5, I want to see if I can do risk 23 on this one.
Well, if that's it, then I'm gonna go ahead and end stream here since that's pretty much it.
Oh, just one thing to mention as last thing to mention as per usual. With every CC season, there's gonna be daily stages.
Daily maps from back in the past, along with other maps that you guys can do every day. Of course, day 1 is going to be a day 1 and 2. It's going to be the same map, and then day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. You know, the usual thing for the trim metals and stuff like that, right? So there's probably going to be another video that's going to be coming out soon. If it's going to be like the same thing, I'm going to be like, well, I already made the video, so I hope you guys actually check out the latest one and such like that. So we'll go from there. Oh boy, I hope you do get your boy Thorns.
Yeah. Because I've actually reviewed how many 6-star ops I don't have. There's not many that I'm looking forward to getting, to be honest. I think about half of them I'm fine getting. I think about half of them is like ones I'd be willing to go for. So let's come to that point. Man, those were the days of like being a new player.
Alright, well, with that being said, let's go ahead and wrap up stream and end it here. Because I'm about to go ahead and dip out and chillax for the day and do some runs and before the whole regular event ends. Alright, peace. Thank you guys so much for joining my video for this information stream. I know Jamie did most of the talking here, but you know, I've already done like so many CCs and such like that, so I have a pretty good understanding of what's gonna happen in the CC. We're all gonna love it, and then we're gonna get tired of it. Then we're gonna wish it was gone and can't wait for it to come back again. Like every time, like it's always gonna be the case. Alright, let's go ahead and wrap up stream and go from there. Thank you, John, so much for coming for the review of Arknight CC6 Wild Scales. And hopefully you guys take in tune of trying to get the risk. Hopefully you guys get the risk 18 week 1, Wish 26. Good luck to you guys because you guys need pots for that. Alright, guys. See you guys in my next video. Peace.